Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and Michael Scofield. What do these guys all have in common? They're all called Michael? Wrong. They are all GOATs. Jordan, the greatest hooper of all time. Jackson, the king of pop. And lastly, Scofield, the protagonist of Prison Break, one of the greatest shows on the planet, in my opinion. And I speak nothing but facts. That first season of Prison Break was peak right from episode 1. We fade in and see our main man Michael Scofield getting his 1 millionth tattoo. And not gonna lie, he's kinda handsome. I ain't gay or nothing, but just look at him. He TMG'd Mariah from this brother. Michael returns home and we see him taking on various newspaper articles of people we are yet to meet. He then goes to his PC, grabs the SSD and chucks it off the balcony. We then cut to the next morning where we see Scofield letting it off in a bank. Michael, what are you doing? He asks the clerk to open the vault, but she says she doesn't have that clearance. She was a little confused as to why Michael was still there when he's already robbed them of $500,000. Michael inevitably gets caught by the feds since 1. He just stayed there for some reason, and 2. He raw dogged the heist. No mask, no team, no nothing, just vibes. And to add to the existing confusion, when he was in court, he was pleading guilty. I mean, he was going to jail regardless. The bank definitely caught him in 4K, but guys have committed worse crimes and still said they didn't do it. Veronica speaks to him one-on-one and is asking why is he so persistent on going to pen. Well, he doesn't give her much to work with. They reconvene with the judge and she slaps him in a maximum security prison for 5 years. And is he smiling? The judge slaps him in Fox River Prison, where he is met by Brad Bellick, the biggest waste man on the show. Well, the second biggest. There's one other person that clears him, but he doesn't appear in the pilot. I will give him this. He also had the best character development in the show. But at this point in time, he's a waste man. First day in the cells and Michael was seeing hella niggas. One of them even called him Pre, which proves my point from earlier. But he's probably gay, so that doesn't help my case. And then boom, from out of nowhere, someone gets yinged for no reason. He was just minding his own business. His Seti, Fernando Sucre, welcomes him to prison. And Michael starts realizing there is no way he's going 5 years unscathed. Can't believe I'm locked to the lifers. I was on signal.
Basic segregated from all of my...
Let's get back on track. But yeah, Michael's either getting touched or getting touched. And he is not ready for either option. The prisoners get let out into the yard and Michael asks Sucre where he can find Lincoln Burrows, the man that killed the vice president's brother. Sucre says the only way he's getting close to Lincoln is during chapel or PI, which is coordinated by John Abruzzi. He also asks why he cares about Burrows so much, to which he says,
"Because he's my brother."
We then get shown a flashback of Michael having a conversation with Lincoln from the earlier days of his sentence. Lincoln says, well, I didn't do it. And just like that, Michael believed him. From then on, Michael began cooking up the greatest prison break in history. The way they framed Lincoln for killing the vice president's brother is actually nuts. Lincoln had his gun up and they doctored the footage to make it look like he shot the gun. Even though the evidence was damning, surely there'll still be questions flying around in Michael's head. For starters, why would someone who's related to the vice president be chilling in some random ass car park late at night? And it just so happens that at the same time, Lincoln is doing a job for someone at the exact same car park. There's just too many coincidences. If I was to, hypothetically, eliminate a member of the royal family, I wouldn't even know where to start, let alone find them in a car park in my area. But yeah, that setup was convoluted. This just goes to show that if the government wants you gone, they will get you gone. We're back at the cells now and catch Michael helping Sucre propose to his girlfriend. He does realize he's in prison, right? True say, Sucre didn't even do the craziest of crimes, that's the funny thing. All he did was rob an off license and he did this all in the name of love. But not for real, why is he trying to propose from the cell? Like, this is some hood love story. I mean, it worked, but still. We spin to the outside world where we see Lincoln's son and his boy being handed a bag of dope. It turns out LJ's a street chemist, and a very bad one, because these guys got nicked in 0.2 seconds. You can tell this was clearly his first day on the job because they didn't even make it out of the area. This decision never made sense to me because he's already got 2 relatives behind bars. Surely you would do all that you could to not join them. We spin back to Fox River now where we see Michael hitting up Abruzzi for PI. He gives him an origami duck and tells him to come talk when he's ready. What is he cooking? We then see Michael up in that medical room cooking in a different way, dropping game on Sarah Tancredi, and she was just gobbling it up. But little did she know that Michael already done the CRB check. He knows everything about her.
Hold on. I guess being a diabetic, you don't mind needles.
I'm Michael, by the way.
One word, magnificent. Michael and Lincoln cross paths for the first time in the prison at chapel. Lincoln, confused, asks Michael what is he doing here, to which he says, I'm getting you out of here. We then cut back to LJ where we see his mother telling him that he's a good dude, nothing but straight A's in school. Why are you trying to jump on the roads? But he doesn't say much in response to that and she decides that they should go take a visit to see his father. Visiting hour comes around and we see Lincoln giving LJ some fatherly advice. Lincoln tells him that he's a fool. Does he not enjoy freedom? But again, LJ's not trying to hear anything. Lincoln reminds him that in a month's time, he's going to be gone forever, to which LJ says,
You're already dead to me.
Damn, that hurt me a little. At the same time, Michael spoke to Veronica during his visiting hour and she was asking him what is he on. Michael tells her that Lincoln is innocent and that the evidence was cut. We now move over to the Secret Service headquarters where we see Hale and oh my... Nah, his hairline is fugazi. I wouldn't even wish that upon my worst enemy. But yeah, this is Kellerman. One thing you should know about him is that he was in the fields. We talk about John Wick, we talk about Jason Bourne. These are just a few guys that knew how to get active. But trust me when I say Kellerman is in this realm. He truly loved to get a man down and it shows. Kellerman and his boy go see a bishop so that he could pray for his hairline. The bishop was trying to delay Lincoln's expiry date. The fact that they have secret agents involved in this case just says enough. Kellerman is asking him to turn a blind eye on the chair just this once, which is a crazy ask by the way, considering he's a pastor, but naturally, the bishop wasn't trying to do that. But Kellerman told him that they know his secret. We know your pastor Toby. Apparently, father was using the church to commit fraud. After hearing this accusation, the bishop tells them to get out and they do so. And those were the last words he ever uttered because that same night during his sleep, Pastor Toby wakes up to the sound of an intruder. He rises up from his slumber only to see the barrel. We never find out who it was that killed him, but come on now, we all know it was Kellerman. Michael's back in the yard now and is striking up a convo with Charles Westmoreland, aka DB Cooper. He tries to get some information out of him, but he says nada. Whoever decided to put DB Cooper in prison break, again, magnificent. Abruzzi gets a phone call from one of his boys and is told that someone spotted the snitch that put him in the cells. John puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that Michael knows the whereabouts of said snitch. Abruzzi gets his goons to beat the information out of him, but this is Michael Schofield. He ain't no female dog. Oh wow, they got him bent over. Maybe he is a bitch. They throw him to the ground and beat him with some makeshift prison weapon. The guards see the commotion from the towers and let it off to get everyone under control. Meanwhile, Veronica gets told that the bishop who tried to delay Lincoln's death is now dead. Realizing that Michael was right, she gets back on the case. The episode ends with Abruzzi getting Michael into PI, even after the beatdown they gave him. Michael speaks to Lincoln one-on-one and drops the history of Fox River. Link the Sync puts 2 and 2 together and realizes he's seen the blueprints. Or better yet,
I've got him on me.
and that's how Michael Schofield started the greatest prison escape in history. Bro, can you believe all that happened in one episode? There's so much more to this show, man. I was gonna do the whole of season 1, but yeah, I don't know about that one. Maybe. But for now, you guys can enjoy the pilot. Shout out to Ibs and Ains Creates. He told me to do this like over a year ago, but we're here now. Thank you for watching, and as usual, that's all she wrote.
語れない眠れないとろい目な